All right, everyone, welcome to another Adventures with Blue Echo Games. We have a new scenario and a new battle for you, and I'm going to take a second to test some levels and make sure the stream is all good, and then we'll hop into playing. Just going to make sure that we are live and everything is visible. All right, fantastic. The resource Gambit is on. All right, I am going to set things up. We are going to go to turn 1 of the battle. We are also going to reset the scores to 0-0 because this is not a scenario that starts with an 8-point spot for the red team. And let's go over our forces really quick. All right, hello. So the green team is a Maasai off-road defense group. Maasai is a colony within Maietu. Vanguard is leading the charge, followed by Redline, our transport. Then immediately after that, we have 3 infantry hits with Spearhead, Arclight, and Helio. And then last but not least, we have Mouse. So that is the colony force. Colonies can place beacons after running. Another unique thing that they have available is their traits. You can see they are accurate, pragmatic, and resourceful. That explains how they spend energy. You can spend an energy token here, it's an energy canister, to gain precision on a shot by triggering your accurate trait. You can spend an energy to pass all your disengage checks by triggering your pragmatic trait, and you can spend an energy to trigger your resourceful trait and place a beacon on an objective. And then I will grab the red team's forces and we'll go over those. All right, so the red team today is a Drasso Spearhead force, and Drasso Starcloud is a province within Maietu, which means that this force is a provincial classification, which means that they get 4 response tokens, which I will be marking with these black pips, which will be visible here. I'll try to space it out so it's noticeable. I can spend those when running or sprinting to add 4 to the next result. So before I flip, I can spend that to go a little bit faster. We'll go over the forces really quick. Vesa is a heavy walker leading the charge, followed by some dragoons here. There's a squad of 3. Those are Anna's finest. They are on loan from the Anna's Halo provincial forces. Then next up, we've got Firestorm, some ferocious specialist species infantry, Ruby, and a large anti-tank gun operated by this brave energy sword-wielding soldier, our sniper, Violet. She's the best, always has been, always will be. And then last but not least, a newly trimmed up and detailed tank. This is Honor Guard, and she is, I think, maybe a little bit cooler than Mouse. We'll see. It's just whichever one I painted most recently. Okay, so this scenario, I'm playing the resource Gambit, which is what I'm calling this scenario. None of these forces have any support resources of their own. The only way to get support resources is by taking one of these minor objectives here. This minor objective will grant additional energy. Everyone will generate 2 energy per turn with their generators. If you hold this objective here, you will get an additional energy each turn. If you hold this, you get to send an artillery strike, and if you hold this, you can do a map action, which allows you to move 6 inches during the support phase. We are going to have some secondaries. The scenario secondaries for this are to close in, send scouts, and advance the front. And the Drasso Star Cloud is looking to defend their territory, explore, and sow chaos. They are a spearhead strike group that Drasso sends out to do dirty work. Then here, the colony, in addition to closing in, sending scouts, and advancing front, which are the scenario secondaries, their goals are disruption, economic growth, and securing resource. Masse is a little bit of a rough terrain colony, so securing resources and economic growth is one of the colonial goals. And then because they're not a fully fledged large military force yet, they end up trying to disrupt their enemies more so than destroy them, oftentimes trying to hold out until the larger provincial response force or a core worlds detachment can come and help them. In this case, is this a Maya 2 civil war? Is this a training exercise? Is it all a misunderstanding? Do I only have one faction book out, so everything's a mirror match for the next few months? We'll find out. So other than that, let's hop right into it. So I'm going to attempt to play at a pretty decent pace while explaining my actions, and I will do so to try to move things along. So we will switch initiative, but since it's turn 1, we'll roll off, and we'll do odds for the red force, and green force here will be evens. And it is odd, so we will have initiative go to the Drasso province. So first off, we'll gain energy from our generators. I will gain 2 energy, and then we will do similar things here. 2 energy for this. Then, because the game is tied, we will roll secondaries. So red is going to have defend territory, and green is going to have economic growth. And so I'm going to write these right here for you. So economic growth for green, and that doesn't quite fit. Let's call it econ growth. And then for player 2, we will call it defend your territory. Okay, great. It is 0-0, it is turn 1. We are going to go into the support phase. Now, because of this scenario, because of the resource Gambit, without taking objectives, we're not going to get any support. So we're going to go straight then into orders. And then initiative, of course, is here for the Drasso attack group. Vesa is going to go first. I'm going to spend a provincial response token, one of my 4 for the game right now, to add +4, and then I am going to run. That gives me 16 inches +4 from the response token. That's a 20-inch move, and then I will move center to center, take this objective. Because I ran, I get a supplemental action, and for my supplemental action, I will activate deflectors. We'll go here to Vanguard. Vanguard is going to start by sprinting. Now my run speed is 1, but I'm on the sprint row, so that's 18 inches, which allows me to pretty comfortably take this objective. Now I am going to spend 1 energy as a resourceful with my resourceful trait to place a beacon there. All right, now we will continue to alternate activations. Anna's Finest, their bonded pair trait is going to trigger. That's going to give them +4 inches, and then I am going to run, and that is 13 inches, a run on speed 4, and I'm gonna add 4 because there's no units within 16 inches, which means they're bonded pair trait triggers, and that gives me 17 inches to work with, and I will put myself here, and then because that was a run, I get a supplemental action, and I will place shields. All right, fantastic. Just gonna make sure we take away that target lock. All right, red line, the party car. So currently, because this is a transport, I want to put it in a position where my infantry can succeed. So what I will do is I will sprint, and that gives me 30 inches as it is a sprint on speed 4, which is great. Now, I know from experience that Vesa is very good at munching infantry. So instead what I'm going to do is put myself here. I can't be on an objective because then that would turn off my transport, and I would like to transport. All right, next up, Firestorm. Fairly close range, so I'm gonna have them sprint right away here, and that is going to give us 18 inches, which is great, and I am going to use that as a chance to back up this objective here. Try to put a little bit more support here. I am anticipating a set of deploys from there. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, and then we have our first infantry unit here, Spearhead. So because this is turn 1, they can run, sprint, or charge. I'm not seeing any great anything great here. So I'm gonna have them run rather than charge. And that's 20 inches to work with, which is pretty nice. And that's not quite, okay, well, that is enough to take that objective, which is great. So now I'm currently controlling this minor objective. And because that was a run, I am going to try to shoot here. Now I believe that because I was able to get there, and then when I look at it, I now have a clean shot because they did not put themselves in a super great position. My range with the Atrix 7 are 20 inches, which I'm absolutely in range. So I am going to shoot. Atrix 7 is a conventional weapon, so nothing special. I get 2 attacks per unit. My hit number is 4+. Their evasion is 4. So this hits on an 8+. All right, I got 1 hit. There is no penalty, there are no shields. I will proceed to armor, which is 2 damage minus 0 armor. 2 damage. A single hit can only hit a single model, which means that one of these takes 2 damage, a bit of an overkill, and dies. All right, next up is Ruby. Ruby is going to spend a response token. Yes, it's halfway through turn 1 and I've used half of them. And I will run now with Ruby, which is a great result. 18 on speed 1 plus 4, that gives me 22 inches, which is what I was hoping for, because this can give me an opportunity to do some fun shooting. All right, so I'm fine to hang out there. I'm gonna put myself here so that I am obscured, and then I'm going to shoot my Nova anti-tank gun here, which has a 28-inch range, which is plenty. All right, so my Nova anti-tank gun gets one shot. It is on a 3+, 0 evasion, so it remains a 3+, and it hits on a 5. Then we'll proceed to the penalty roll. This is obscured by terrain, and so therefore I have a 6-up penalty roll, which I hit. There is no shield, and then we'll proceed to armor. This is armor piercing, so I treat Vanguard's armor as 0, and I deal 5 damage. Now, mechs are unique in that they have an outer shell, which sort of acts as its own protective layer. So 4 damage goes into the outer shell, and that 5th damage sort of is wasted on the outer shell. And we will mark the outer shell of mechs being broken by placing a yellow on them. Now I'm just going to check the camera feed, make sure that's visible. Nope, that blends in with the base. So what we'll do is we'll put it right here, and therefore it's a little bit more clear that the outer shell of Vanguard is broken. And now we'll move to Arclight. All right, Arclight is also going to run, which is 20 inches, which is a great start. And I believe Arclight wants to take this objective here. They're a little bit exposed, but there isn't much else they can do. And they are going to shoot here into Firestorm. So we are shooting with Milena 8Y-4 carbines. These are also conventional. So 2 attacks per model. So 6 attacks total. I am on a 4+, +4 evasion. These go to 8s, and they all missed. All right, so evasion is a great way to defend yourself. All right, Violet is ready to go. Now, Violet's a sniper. I like to have snipers run on turn 1, so we are going to have 20 inches as I am running on speed 3. 20 inches is a great way for me to use my adaptable trait to end my movement by taking a building. I gain elevation, which I like, and then also incoming attacks have penalty. Now the great thing is because I have elevation, I ignore this low terrain when tracing line of sight, and so that's just a clean shot. And I'm going to use my A4 Kraken sniper rifle. This is a finesse weapon, so it treats their evasion as 0. So 2 up plus 0 evasion is a 2 up, which hits. There is no penalty as I am elevated and shooting over that low cover. They have no shield. I'll proceed to armor. This is 4 damage, 0 armor, and they have 3 health per model, so we will overkill this one. Only the lieutenant remains. All right, next up, Helio. Helio is going to be the 6th and final unit that can spawn out of Redline, and will do so. And that is a 16. So, what can I do with 16 inches? I am going to go here to defend this objective, and then as my supplemental action, I will activate a shield. Now, unfortunately, I'm probably not going to get my economic growth trigger because I used my energy. Okay, and then final red activation will be the tank honor guard. My secondary goal right now is to defend my territory, which I think I'm pretty safe because these are my close objectives and I have pretty good control of those. So I am going to have honor guard run, see if we can do some shenanigans. 14 inches as I'm running on speed 3. Let's see here. I think this is a pretty good situation for me. Okay, great. And then I am going to send my Hydra swarm missiles here. So that's 5 attacks on a 3-up plus 4 evasion, 7 ups. All right, fantastic. 3 hit. Then the Hydra swarm missiles are an impact weapon type, which means that they automatically pass penalty rolls. This is penalized because the shot is obscured, but I pass it. So that means that all 3 of these hits deal 1 damage because they have 0 armor, and 3 is exactly what is necessary to be lethal here. So this unit is now mortally wounded. Really good shots for Honor Guard there. And then Mouse is just going to try to take that objective, and I think they can get it with run, so I will run. Yeah, 18's plenty. Uh-oh, reaching over the table. Judge. Sweet. All right. We are going to go here. I believe 18 is enough to do that. And then do I have a shot? Yes. So I do. It's not a good shot, but actually better than shooting, I am going to use my colony trait, right? As my classification is a colony, I can place a beacon after the run action. So rather than shooting, I'm going to place a beacon there, and then I can try to take a better shot next turn. So all units have now finished activating. We will resolve damage. So red will resolve their damage first. The Drasso attack group will lose this, and then the green team will resolve their damage. Both of these die, and that is a victory point for the red team. So player 1's score goes up to 1. Sweet. And then now let's look at objective control. 1, 2, 3 points to 1, 2. So that means that player 2 gets a point. You get points equal to the difference, maximum 2 points. And then we'll also reward resources. They control this minor objective, which gives them an energy here. So they now have 2 energy. And then let's check for secondary goals. So both of these goals are unique in that they check at the end of the turn. So defend territory, absolutely. That is a territory defense plus 1 point. Economic growth, end the turn with 2 energy. Holding that objective got them a 2nd energy. Both players get a point on secondaries. And so we're tied 2-2 going into the 2nd turn, like this. I'm going to increment turn to 2. And let's go to the next turn. So because red has less objective score, they get one of our little comeback mechanics. This token here will represent target lock, which players can use to do a variety of things. So red will gain target lock, and because the players are still tied, both players will get secondaries. So let's roll red's secondary, which is a 1, which is defend territory again. And then for green, it's send scout. So if they move a unit that started the turn in friendly territory into enemy territory, they will get a point. And red team has to have both of these objectives fully neutral or friendly in order to get that point. Now let's switch initiative. I'm going to have the Drasso group gain their energy right now. Now we'll gain energy from generators. That is 2 energy. And we will go to the support phase. Again, no one is controlling any of these for a resource gambit, so support phase just doesn't happen. Now we'll go to orders. All right, fantastic. Vanguard's a little bit beaten up, but is not really sure what to do. What is a good play here for Vanguard? Let me grab my ruler. All right, so I think that a smart play here is going to be to get away from that anti-tank gun. So what I am going to do is run, which is 14 inches. And I am going to put myself here in a more defensible position. Again, the beacon holds the objective for me. And then as a supplemental action, I'm going to call aid, which will let me heal next turn if I survive. And Vesa. Let's see. Vesa is going to sprint. Nice, 20 inches. And that is going to let me, well, it's actually 20, not 19. That's going to let me touch that back objective there. And swivel. Swiveling's not an official thing. You're allowed to pose the models how you like. All right, Redline has done all of their transportation duty. So I think what they will do is run. Ooh, not so good, 10 inches. That is not a great result. I think because of that, I'm going to just move here, take that objective, and activate deflectors. Oh. Let me update players to, let me update that to send scout. Okay. Anna's Finest. Anna's Finest really want to do something aggressive here. They see a 11-inch charge +2 for needing to jump over this. So that becomes a 13-inch charge, which they get with an 18 as they have a charge score of 4. And then they will close to 2 inches, which keeps them off the objective, but we get the centers at 2 inches. And then we will slash. And I am going to, I'm going to spend my target lock to make this slash have precision. So I'll use my JQ12 short swords, 3 + 4 evasion, 7 up. This was not a very good result, so I will use my precision reroll at this phase, which is great, turned into 2 extra. And then there is no penalty as there's no terrain and they're not engaged in melee. They don't have a shield, and each one deals 2 damage. So let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one only has 3 health, but that second attack can't hit 2. So it ends up being that 4th health just kind of overkills, and that was a pretty good attack. All right, Spearhead, unfortunately, we're not able to live the turn, so they will redeploy, and they can either sprint or they can run and activate deflectors. They will run and activate deflectors. And that is 20 inches, which is fantastic. And I keep putting down my ruler. All right. 20 inches. You know, that's not quite enough to do anything crazy, but I think I'm gonna go here and put up deflectors. And I have to remember, I have to keep in mind, that's low terrain, so you can actually see, you can see units over it. Just because their poses are low does not change the way that the terrain works. All right, Firestorm are going to run, which is 13 inches, which is enough to take this objective. This just marks what the resource does. And then they are going to shoot here, and they're outside of zone of control, barely. All right, so there are 5 units remaining. Their Echo 3 submachine guns have 1 attack each. 4 plus 4 evasion is an 8 up. None hit. Okay, we did our best. Arclight. Okay, Arclight, they are going to, they're going to crack back, and they are going to use precision. So the damage does not resolve until the end of the phase. So when they activate, their mortally injured units are still going to be able to go down swinging. So they're going to use their Core World Standard template combat knives. That is 2 attacks per model. 3 plus 3 evasion is going to be 6 ups. I am going to use my reroll to reroll the hit roll here. Great, turning it into 5. No penalty, strikes never have a penalty. No deflector, and now we'll go to armor. So if the damage is higher than the armor, we just subtract each hit from the armor. So these deal 2 damage each into 1 armor. So these 5 each deal 1 damage. So it's 5 instances of 1 damage. So we can go 1, 2, 3 for the kill, and then a further 1, 2 marked there. And yep, the camera is able to pick that up. Fantastic. All right. Ruby. Ruby is going to run 13 inches. And that's enough to take this objective, this minor objective, and get a clean shot here. So I will shoot at Vanguard. That is 3 plus 0 evasion. It hits, and that is going to mark Vanguard for death. That breaks the inner shell as well. I thought the angle was maybe a little bit safer, but man, all right. Flanking's a hell of a thing. Helio loses deflectors upon activation, and I think Helio doesn't want you to get your defend territory, so Helio is going to sprint. Nice, 22 inches. I will spend 2 to vault this, and I will put myself here on the objective, and I am now controlling a far objective. If the objective is farther from the deploy point of 1 to the enemy, right? So if it's farther from red than green will get increased points for holding it. Violet is probably going to try to do something about that and is going to shoot. I could charge to get on it, but I'm gonna try to get the kill. So I'm actually going to run. I think this is positive expected value. I am going to run and basically put myself here. Clean shot. No precision. 2 up. Hits. Okay, great. That is going to be 3 damage on Helio. 4 damage minus 1 armor. We'll mark 3 here on Helio. 1, 2, 3. Make sure that the camera picks that up. Yeah, that looks pretty visible. Okay, and then Mouse. Mouse has placed a beacon. Gosh, what can Mouse do to be useful here? You know, I'm actually thinking that Mouse might What are my odds of getting the ram? Okay, so I have a special ability as a motor vehicle where I can ram, and I get 3 attacks of 3 damage each. I would need all 3 to hit to get the kill, so that's not particularly great. I think what I'll do is I will run, nice, 20 inches, and I will use my 20 inches to come around here and line up an open shot there. And I will use my Cray SR12 blaster. And this is 2 attacks at 2 up plus 4, so 6 up. And I will spend an energy to make this precise, triggering my accurate trait. And it didn't matter, we still got the 2 6s, no penalty as it's a clear shot and there's no shield, so each one kills a unit. Those Firestorm units, they have no armor and 1 health, so basically each hit is a kill. All right, Honor Guard needs to try to hold this objective. So Honor Guard is going to run, which is decent here. I am going to use my 24 inches. I'm going to put myself right on the edge here. Great, and I'm in range. And I believe because they have 1 armor, I'm better off using my IOQ broadside system. These are 4 ups plus 3 evasion. Line of sight check, it's a clean shot, which means that I just have to hit a 7 up to get the kill because it's armor piercing. Didn't get that one. No! Oh, okay, you know what? The Gambit didn't pay off. Okay, so then let's go to resolve damage. So green will resolve damage. I believe they lost 2. Yeah, because there were 4 hits. I don't know why that one, did I stand that one back up? And then this one dies. These 2 die, but it looks like no units. What? No. Big, big kill here. I forgot the huge kill. So this is Vanguard. Vanguard is very expensive in terms of build points, which means Vanguard is a prize. So red gets awarded 2 points for the kill rather than 1, going up to 4. Okay, then now let's look at the objective situation. 1, 2, 3, 4 points here, because if you're contesting a far objective, you still get 4 points. And you still get you still get 1 objective score if you're contesting a far objective. So it's 4 to 2. So that's a further 2 points for the green team, the colony. Then let's look. Defend territory fails because I did not secure everything. And then send scout. Now, I think because I was already in enemy territory, I was past this line. That does not count as sending a scout. So I don't think that green team gets send scout either, which, you know, maybe was a bit of a misplay, but we learn. That's the fun part about a strategy game. Okay, so target lock is going to go to red because they have a lower objective score. Now, let's reward an additional energy to the colonial force. And think like colony, like I'm settling a barren planet, not like British Empire colony. Though, I don't know, maybe the propaganda is lying to you. Maybe it is more like a British Empire colony. We don't know. And then I'm going to get a map token to move a unit, and I'm going to get an artillery strike here. So a bunch of minor resources going to red, and it's a tie game. So going into turn 3, let us set up our secondaries. It is tied 4-4. So red is going to get Send Scout. So this time they get Send Scout, and green is going to get Economic Growth. So they're going to try to end the turn with 2 energy, and so player 1 gets Target Lock. That's the crosshair that shows up. Player 2 gets Economic Growth again, and player 1 gets Scout. And it has to be someone who started the turn outside of enemy, started the turn in friendly territory, crossing into enemy territory. All right, and it is turn 3, so we will gain energy from generators. Going up, I believe both players now have full energy. We did our secondaries, and we'll go to the support phase. Now, I have a bunch of support that I can use, and I will. I am going to put an artillery strike on Helio, so I will spend that. Artillery strike, 4d6. Hitting on 6s, ignoring armor. Nothing. It completely fizzled. Okay. Then I will spend my map, and how I will do that is that's not quite enough to go around. So what I think I'll do with my map is I am going to move back slightly here so that I am in friendly territory. So if I move into enemy territory, I will succeed on sending a scout. There is nothing resource-wise that the green team can do. And so then we'll go here to activations. And so Vesa is going to place a beacon and then run. And I am mobile. I'm going to spend an energy to add +4 inches to this run, which is going to turn a 14 into an 18. Come around and do this. I am in friendly territory, and by moving up here, I have now crossed into enemy territory, and I have successfully sent a scout. So what we'll do is we will mark that player 1 doesn't have a goal anymore, and they don't have their target lock anymore. Oh, no. They don't have their artillery anymore. They still have target lock. And we will mark that they instantly scored a point, going up to 5. Sweet. Vanguard is going to spawn by running and shielding, because Ruby is a pain. 19 inches, that is fantastic. This is dangerous here. This is infantry. These are all strong positions for them. So tanks count as cover, so I can't really run through them. We'll say there and place a shield. All right, fantastic. Anna's Finest. Anna's Finest are going to strike and put up a shield, but they're going to spend an energy to trigger their Relentless trait and get precision on the attack. So this is going to be 2 attacks per, so 4 attacks, 3 + 4, 7 up. I am going to use my precision reroll on the hit roll, which is great, turning it into 3 attacks. There is no penalty, there is no shield, so each one hits. 3 attacks is enough to get the kill. And then they, because they chose to strike and activate deflectors will get deflectors here. So using the energy to get the precision and then using the supplemental action to get the deflectors. Red line is sort of in an interesting position because there's no more beacons left, but they really want to hold that objective. So I think what they will do is they will shoot into here with precision. And that is 2 Vatek AP guns, 5 plus 3. These go to 8 up. I will use my reroll here. Now anything 5 or lower would hit Arclight, but Arclight's already dead. So I do get a hit that is 2 armor piercing damage, which is one hit of 2 armor piercing. So that is able to, no, I need that 8 to pass a shield roll, which it does, and a penalty roll because you're in melee combat, which it doesn't. I forgot. If a unit is engaged in melee, all incoming shots, in addition to 1 through 5 being friendly fire, even if they hit the intended target, they have penalty, and in this case, they also had a shield. So, slight miscalc. Okay. Man, I really like having that artillery strike, but I'm probably not going to survive. So I think what I will do is, it is not worth the artillery strike. So I think what I will do is I will run and I will spend an energy to trigger my mobile trait to get plus 4 inches to this run. So 18 becomes 22, which is fantastic. And I am going to use that to run around and I am going to use that to sort of, yes. If I'm on an objective, I can't heal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to be extra super duper 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 safe, which you can't see. I'm gonna have the lieutenant in the correct place for gameplay, but move these 2 out so you can see what's up. And then I'm going to call aid there. That means that Spearhead will activate and lose their deflectors, but they've got the artillery now. So what they will do is run, which is 24 inches, but artillery good. Actually, that kind of changes things. I think I'm gonna have them move here and take a shot here using an energy to gain precision on the shot. So that is 4 Atrix 7, 4 plus 3. These are 7 ups. I will use my reroll because there's no other rolls to do. Nope. 3 hits, no penalty, no shield, and that is 2 damage minus 1 armor. So each one deals 1 damage, and Ruby takes 3 damage, which we'll mark with these 3 here. All right, fantastic. Ruby now, this is an interesting conundrum. I think Ruby will fall back with a 19. That 6-inch move isn't super important to me, and I want to free up the tank to be able to do some interesting things. So Ruby is going to fall back there, and is going to... It's not really any good shots because this is obstructing. But that's okay. I think I'll just activate deflectors and chill. They sort of did what they needed to do. I just want to keep them alive. I don't want to lose the unit or get too greedy. All right, Arclight is marked for death. They're going to attack with precision, 3 plus 3, 6 up on the combat knife. Hit, hit, Shield roll, miss, hit, use my reroll on the shield, hit, hit. Each one is going to do 1 damage. So 3rd damage coming in here, and then 1 damage marked on the final surviving horseman. All right, Violet says, Helio, you gotta go. I am just gonna shoot you with my, I'm just gonna shoot you with precision. And that is a further 4 damage. So that marks Helio for death. They were a bit exposed. Helio, go down swinging. Helio's gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna shoot Violet with precision. PM38 with compensator, 4 plus 3. These are 7 ups. I will use my reroll. Nothing. Wow. Okay. Helio, you did what you needed to do. That was a big play. You got a bunch of points. You denied the secondary. That's all good stuff. Okay. Honor Guard. Honor Guard is now free for shenanigans. So Honor Guard is going to run 18 inches, which is great. And zone of control, I can't really do a whole lot. I am going to move like this. Kind of as far back as I can. And then I am going to use my weapons. And I am going to give this precision by spending my target lock. And so player 1 T-lock disappears. All right, and this is going to be 5 swarm missiles, 3 plus 5, 3 plus 4, 7 up with precision. All right, I am going to re-roll those 2. Great, I get 4 hits. I pass all my penalty rolls. There is no shield. They have no armor, so that is 4 instances of 1 damage. So 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th right here. That was a devastating blow. Mouse says, well, you fell into my trap because now I get to do some shenanigans. And Mouse is going to run, which is 18 inches. Well, actually, yes. So, Mouse, it's tight. Maybe they go around. Okay, you are not blocking terrain. So, as long as I don't touch you. Beep, 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 beep. Grown pretend adult, pretending to be an adult, but really just plays with toys all day. Okay, so I'm going to take that objective. This unit here does not technically have, like, size to it. It has zone of control, but, like, it can move out of the way. As long as this center point doesn't, this edge doesn't cross this center point, we're fine, but you can move the guns around. Units are essentially, this is a good learning moment, units are essentially a center point with a zone of control like this, right? So you can see there, no enemies can go within 5 inches, but any friendly units can basically move freely in and around. The tank counts as high blocking terrain, like the whole vehicle. So as long as their edge doesn't cross the center point, then you're fine. And so I just moved the guns slightly to facilitate that move. One of the guidelines for building terrain is that all terrain pieces are about 6 inches apart, and that means that your larger models usually can navigate. Okay, so that's a clean shot here. I am going to use an energy to give this shot precision, and we're busting out the T-Quake heavy cannon. This is armor piercing 2 up, 1 evasion going to 3. Good thing it's precision. I will use my reroll. Hits! And there is no shield. There is no armor because this is an armor piercing weapon. And so Honor Guard takes 4 damage, which, oh, we're running out of red. So we will mark Honor Guard's damage with oranges. Sweet. All right. And now let's resolve damage. So damage resolves. Technically, for whoever has initiative should resolve damage first. So damage resolves here. Then for green, damage resolves here. 1 point. Damage resolves here. 2 points. I may make a 6-inch adjustment move, and I put myself on the objective, staying in friendly territory, just in case scout happens again. And damage resolves here. So that is 2 points on kills for player 1, going up to 7 points. Now let's look at the objective situation. 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 3. So we're tied on objectives, so nobody gets target lock, and we're going to go into turn 4 with the green team being down by 3 points. So they're the only one who get secondaries this turn. Oh wait, sorry. That's still true. That's still true. They get send scout, but they also completed their economic growth. So they're only down by 2. They get a point for completing economic growth as they have 3 energy in their stockpile right now. And then their goal for this turn, man, we're rolling a lot of 5s. We're sending a lot of scouts. So they will be sending a scout on turn 4, and they get initiative. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the energy then, and then you get this. I get an additional energy. And then gain 2 energy from generators. Okay, now it is the support phase. I am going to, let's see, support. First thing that happens in the support phase, let me read the rules. Eligible units who called for aid will heal. So this unit called for aid. If you called for aid, when you're not on an objective and you called for aid, you heal, you do a heal roll per missing health. So that's 3. Healing on a 6 up with re-rolls, but luckily I just got all 3. So yeah, I took the turn off, but I was able to heal to full, and now I'm back in the fight. And now I say, oh, sorry, did I bump the mic? I say, it is time to use my artillery. And my most prime artillery target is this one, because each hit is going to reduce their offensive power. And they don't have a shield. Let's go. 6 ups. That is 2 hits. Now, in this phase, from artillery, damage resolves immediately. So going into orders, they will be reduced. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to go into orders. It is turn 4. So the colony here, the Maasai colony, have initiative. And Vanguard is going to activate, losing their deflector. And I believe that, oh, they don't have a shot because the tank is blocking. What is my charge here? Ooh. It's a 16-inch charge. So on a charge score of 2, a 16, ooh, that's a 58% chance of success. Let's do it. And we're in with a 19. So I will measure zone of control. I don't believe you get on the objective, so I'll put the units in the closest stable orientation that maintains the correct objective status. And I am going to, 1, complete send scout, because I went from enemy territory from friendly territory into enemy territory. So send scout is complete, and I score a point. Then let's slash Trinova Mega Blade right here. 5-up finesse, ignoring evasion. 5-ups. That's 3 hits. Each one deals 3 damage minus 1 armor. So 2, 2, 2, which happens to be the 6 health. Boom. That's right. Like I said, that Mega Blade is an infantry killer. All right, Vesa. Vesa says, I'll do the same thing to you. We're gonna call that like a 10 maybe? I definitely think an 18's enough. I definitely think an 18 is enough. Now, if I'm looking at that attack, I do not get on the objective, but if we look at that attack angle, there isn't really terrain in the way, if I'm being honest, right? Because you're coming from not the terrain angle. It's not interfering with where my base is. It's not really between us. I am going to use an energy here to trigger my relentless and give myself precision on this attack. You know what? Does that get a penalty? No, I'm coming from behind. I'm coming from behind. All right, 5-ups. Use my precision reroll. Ooh, 3 hits, each one dealing 3 damage. Do you think 9's enough to get the kill? Is 9 damage enough to get the kill? Absolutely. Bow. We only needed to do 2. All right, red line. This is tough. I'm not on this. I haven't gotten on this yet, right? Red hasn't gotten on this, so the beacon isn't broken, so it hasn't recycled a beacon for this unit to use. So I think what they're going to do is they are going to run to put themselves in a defensive position like this, right? Beep, beep, beep. And then they are going to spend an energy to turn the resulting supplemental action into a precision shot. 5 + 3, 8 up, both hit. No penalty this time, but I still have a deflector roll. Both miss, but I will use my precision re-roll. Both miss again. Man, Anna's Finest is just blessed with prosperity and hope. I only have 2 health left, but I'm energy rich and I'm trying to mess some stuff up. So I am going to flip this 9-inch charge. I think 20's enough. We're gonna make it accurate here at 2 inches. I am off the objective. Relentless. I love using relentless. All right, these are 3 + 2. These are 5-ups. I'm gonna use it here. Great. Then we have 2 damage, 2 armor, and because damage is less, matches or is less than armor, instead of dealing negative damage, we roll from a chart. 2 damage, 2 armor are 5-ups, nothing. Okay. Spearhead. Spearhead, I mean, is just gonna strike with precision here. 2 Talon strikes, 4 up. Use my reroll. Nope. Okay. 2 damage into 4 armor is an 8 up, which hits. So Vesa takes 1 damage. And I will try to make that a little bit more clear on camera. All right, Firestorm. Firestorm see an opportunity to cause some mischief here and shut down that T-Quake cannon. So that's going to be a 16 plus 2, so an 18. I am going to use an energy to trigger my aggressive trait, which gives me plus 4 inches on the charge. So instead of needing to get an 18, I need to get a 14, and I got it with a 22. And I am in. Well, they're piling on top of each other to climb up. I'm going to use a further energy to trigger my Relentless and get precision on this attack. This is my controlled flurry. 2 up, plus 1 evasion, 3 ups. And I'm gonna save the reroll for the armor check. This is 2 damage, 3 armor, so 1 damage on a 7 up, and I will use my reroll here. Oof. 1 damage on mouse, and the camera sees it. Yes, fantastic. Arclight. Arclight are dead. Arclight will spawn by sprinting. 28 inches, that's pretty great. I think what I need to do is I need to get on... I need to get on this objective. So that when they make their 6-inch adjustment move, they're not able to get onto the objective. This will help me defend the objective. So when they exit melee here, they'll be able to make a 6-inch adjustment move, right? But I'm fully sealing off the objective with Arclight, right? So Arclight's going to be in danger next turn, right? Because Vesa will be able to just maul them, but it's also gonna save 3 victory points. They'll gain a victory point for holding the objective rather than losing 2 objective score from having Vesa take a far. All right, Ruby. Ruby is going to place a beacon and run. No really good shots there. And that is 16 inches. Which again, we're gonna sort of pivot and use this to keep us safe. We are fairly injured, so important to, if you don't have good shots, no reason to throw your life away. Helio will spawn by sprinting. Ooh, 28. That is the best card you can draw. That is the full double 6s. All right, and is going to just run onto this objective. Absolutely. Get some value out of that turn. All right, Violet is here. Just gonna go down swinging, you know, maybe try to take a damage. All right, Pujessa Poison Blade, 3 up, finesse. Use my precision there. Wow, okay. 2 damage, 4 armor is an 8 plus, nothing. All right. Mouse. Mouse can continue to, well, let's see. Are you holding the objective? You took the dead center, which means that the objective is currently contested. If you disengage, if Mouse disengages, they will have to move off the objective and give it to Firestorm. But if they stay, Firestorm will just continue to rip at them with their little claws. So I think I need to disengage. I will spend an energy to pass my disengage checks. Then we'll do a disengage check. You roll 2 per engaged enemy unit. Each one below your disengage number, which would have been that 5, would deal a damage. But before I did the roll, right? You don't do the, but I said, I'm gonna use my pragmatic trait to pass those, but for learning opportunity, that's how a disengage check works. Then I move 8 inches directly back. About there. Then this unit gets to make a 6-inch adjustment move because they're no longer in melee. And they will take the artillery objective. And then Mouse gets to make a supplemental action and is either going to run, activate deflectors, or call aid. They are going to run. I think it's time to do some repositioning. 16 inches. I definitely want to get that T-Quake online. So I'm going to attempt to run like this. Yep, and there's line of sight there. Now these units, the positioning doesn't really matter, so I'll just nudge Arclight, the non-lieutenant, as necessary. And last but not least, Honor Guard. Honor Guard is pretty hurt, but there might be some value in, see, the big targets, well, let's see. Line of sight works 2 ways, but range is asymmetrical. So they will, let's see, I activate now, and then I will activate again. So I'll actually activate before Mouse does again. So I will run. It's 26 inches, but I am going to basically maintain that clean line of sight in between the building and the terrain, like that, but get within 20 inches so I can use my IOQ broadside system, and I'm in range, and then I'm going to take a shot. IOQ broadside system, 4 up, +1 evasion, 5 up, nothing. Excuse me, target, how's your targeting array? Is your targeting array broken? Can you recalibrate? All right, let's resolve damage. This unit dies, giving red a point, going up to 8. And now Vesa can make a 6-inch adjustment move. They're not going to. And then this unit dies. Violet dies, giving a point to player 2, going up to 7. And I may make a 6-inch adjustment move, which I do like this. And then we'll go to objective control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to 1, 2. So that's a maximum 2-point swing for player 2, going up to 9 points. Now, we will award an extra energy, we will reward target lock to the red team as they have less objective score, and they will also get a secondary because they're now down by a point. and they get close in, which means if they charge and slash an enemy next turn, they will get a victory point just for doing so. Now, let's award artillery to red and an extra energy to green. And then gain energy from generators going up to the full 5 here and gaining energy from generators. All right, and now we switch initiative and we will go, did anybody call aid? No, nobody called aid. I'm gonna return this aid token here. Then support phase, because I am greedy. Well, I'm not greedy. I'm going to spend my artillery strike, and I will spend it on I will spend it here. That is 2 damage. I will also spend my target lock on another artillery strike, same place, with a further 3 damage. So that's 5 instances of 1 damage. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And then Vesa is going to charge them. That's a guaranteed charge because it's less than 8 inches. Moving on to the objective. I do think it's probably penalized because I had to move around this. Vesa has 1 damage. Beacon breaks. And I am going to slash, and I am going to spend an energy to give this precision. Trinova Mega Blade, 5 ups. And then I am going to do the save my reroll for the penalty, which didn't even matter, and that is enough to get a kill. So this unit is marked for death. Vesa is on the objective, and close in is completed. Oh, sorry, I didn't write that down. Player 1 gets a point for completing close in, but they have used their target lock. All right, tie game. Now, Vanguard is going to activate and is going to run like this. Now, it's less than 8 inches, so I know I can do it, but we always flip the card just in case, and that's great. It's great to get rid of your worst card on a small move, and then I am going to spend an energy to take a precision shot into Ruby. And so this is 2 3-up TX44 lightning shots, 3 plus 3, 6 up. I will use my precision here. Nope. And that is 4 damage minus 1 armor. Ruby gets bodied. I did not do that positioning quite right. All right. Anna's Finest is going to strike with precision here. 3 plus 2, 5 ups. I will use my reroll. Hit, hit. 2 damage, 2 armor. 5 ups. Hit. That's another damage on Redline. I don't think that Redline is in too much danger right now. Anna's Finest is a little bit too weak to really do anything to their armor. Redline, I mean, holding that objective is just doing my job. So I'm not gonna try to disengage. I'm just gonna activate my shields and try to hold. I don't have any melee, the Redline doesn't have any melee weapons, and it's a vehicle, so they can't swing a sword. Firestorm is going to run and is going to spend a response token to get +4 inches to that run. And a 16 becomes a 20, which is great. And I am able to take this objective. I'm actually going to do I'm going to put myself here, breaking the beacon. And then I am going to shoot there. Now it's obstructed because line of sight works both ways. If I'm touching a low terrain, I can shoot over it, but because that's tall terrain, I'm not able to shoot around it. So it's a symmetrical penalty. 4 attacks with my submachine guns, and this is going to be 4 plus 3, 7 up. All 4 hit. 6 up penalty roll. 1 hits. All right, it all works out in the end. No shield, and this is 3 damage minus 1 armor, so 2 damage marked on Helio. Spearhead died yet again. Spearhead will spawn by running and shielding, which is 14 inches. And because you are defending the objective there, you leave room for me to come on the backside. So contesting that again. Ruby, well, Ruby's gonna go down swinging and is going to shoot precision here. So 3 up, it hits, and that breaks the outer shell. Nice. Doing some work. Arclight is going to, let's see, Arclight, judge, little correction. I lost one of these units immediately from the artillery. So I only have 2 for this precision strike. We're gonna die, so we might as well go down. 3 up with precision. I won't use my reroll there. 2 damage, 4 armor is an 8 up. And I will use my reroll here. Ooh, 1 damage on Vesa. So I'm gonna mark there. And yeah, that shows up on camera. Fantastic. Violet. Violet is going to spawn by sprinting, which is 20 inches, which is not enough to take the artillery, but it is enough to make some moves. I am going to put myself there, right over the parapet, right over the wall. Now Helio, so Helio's in a position where I don't need more energy. So I'm gonna do a charge here. Guaranteed, but we always flip. Ooh, nice, in with a 13. And then I am going to slash. I get 2 poison blade attacks, 3 up finesse, and that is 1 hit, then a penalty. Because the unit is already engaged in melee, slashes to pile in on them have penalty, and that fails. Poison blade did not do work. All right. Honor guard. This is the moment here. So honor guard is going to run, which is a 12. I have to get within 20. So what I will do is put myself such that I'm as safe behind this cover as possible, but also within 20 inches here. And I am going to take my IOQ broadside. These are 4 ups. You have no evasion, so these are 4 ups, each one dealing 3 damage. Bang, bang! And that's enough to get the hit and mark for death. That is nice. You know, rolling 9s and 10s, crazy value. It's so good in a dice game to roll the best dice. I still think my best bet is to try to get the kill here. So I am going to run, which is 20 inches. I'm going to back up to here. That's significantly less than 20, so I've got some wiggle room. And yeah, that's a clear shot. I'm threading the needle. Less than 24. I'm gonna spend 1 energy to make this precision. 3 up, 2 + 1 evasion. Good thing I have precision. Oh my God! What? Okay, you know, I think that the galaxy might just be loving Honor Guard here. This is the galaxy rewarding me for taking some time to add more paint detail and like trim to the tank last night. They said, you've done an amazing thing for the community, and we'll have you roll double 2s. All right, let's resolve damage here. So theoretically, this goes, which is a point for player 1. And that doesn't look great. And then this goes, which is a point for player 2. Now, we're at 10-10, so I'm just gonna reset. Let's just call it 0-0, because the only thing that really matters is the relative number, right? So instead of 10-10, we're just gonna call it 0-0. No damage, no damage, no damage, no damage. Okay, then let's look at the objective score situation. All right, I make a 6-inch adjustment move. Green, 1, 2, 3. Red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 2 points in red's favor. Player 1 is now up by 2 points, which means that target lock here will go to red, and to green, and green will get a secondary, which is economic growth. So that's fantastic. That's pretty easy for them. And this is turn 5. Okay. Is it turn 5? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or is it turn 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think it might be turn 6. No, that was turn 4. Is it turn 5? Turn 6? Well, whatever, we're just gonna keep playing. There's no reason to sit here and figure it out. It's time for turn 5. Well, last turn, mouse went last. Well, this is really interesting. If anyone who's watching, did I mess up the turn count? Let's see, I feel like Vesa spawned turn 1, then turn 2 beacon and ran, and then turn 3 beacon and ran, and then turn 4 charged and slashed, and turn 5 charged and slashed. Let's see, Violet ran and shot, ran and shot, ran and shot, ran and shot, shot with precision, got bodied, respawned. It's turn 6. Oh my gosh. It's turn 6. Yeah, okay. Final turn. Which means that, yeah, that makes sense according to the initiative. Yes, Vanguard. All right, let's look at scores. No one's on a minor objective. So if someone wants to use target lock, yes, no. The bonus strike is going, the bonus attack is going to be better. So I'm going to hold it. Vanguard is going to place a oh, wait. This is, my apologies. I've messed up a little bit. This is a kill, which doesn't change the thing, because instead of 1, 2, 3, it's 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1 to 1. Okay. See, we're still learning. This is a learning opportunity. So that's an additional, so that's 2 points on objective control, an additional 2 points of prize that I forgot. But that means that because it's down, because the the colony is down by 4 points, that means that they get another secondary, which is advance front. So as long as 3 of their units move closer to this deploy point this turn, they'll get a point. So there's theoretically 2 points extra on the board, and let's go in. Okay, so Vanguard is going to spawn by sprinting, which is 14 inches, which again is enough to just nab the edge of this objective, because their zone of control goes to about here. So I'm able to get on the objective barely, kind of moving things around, but the math works out. We know that there's a shell. By definition, because of the sizes of the objectives in the zone of control, we know that there's an edge on the objective for that. Vesa. Vesa is going to place, now Vesa is going to shield, and they're in a good position. So I think what they'll do is they'll just shoot rockets here for the hell of it. And that is going to be 5 EX explosive seeker missiles, 2+1. These are 3 ups. All 3 hit, no penalty, no shield, but pretty bad armor roll. 1 damage, 3 armor, 10 up. I got 1. All right. That's an additional damage marked on mouse. Who knows? It might matter. Sweet. Okay. Red line. Okay, red line can disengage now because the unit is sort of locked into combat. So I'm going to disengage. I'm not going to waste an energy because I really want to have my energy and still get economic growth. So I will do my disengage. My disengage number is 5 up. I pass both. I move as far back as I can, basically way back here. No adjustment move because I'm still in melee, and then I will run. Oh, 13, come on. That is useless. Oh, I can't do anything there. So I guess I'll just move back onto the objective a little bit. I guess I'll do this. So that if you somehow manage to kill Helio, you won't get the adjustment move onto the objective. I was really hoping to be able to do a flank of some kind. Anna's Finest are going to strike Helio with precision. 3+3, 6 ups, both hit. Each one deals 2 damage, so that is 4 damage marked on Helio. Now, if the game is close, going into the game is close at the end, this residual damage that is non-lethal will actually matter. So it's still good to try to deal the damage when you can. Okay, Spearhead. Spearhead will lose their shield and are going to charge here, which is guaranteed in, but we always flip. And then I am going to strike. My Ferocious does not trigger as I have more health than you. So I am going to do my 2 Talon Strikes. Now my slash number is 5 up. So 5 up, they all hit. Every single one hits. That's a wipe. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is incredible. Okay. No need to use my target lock. We're all good. Sweet. Firestorm. Well, Firestorm's gonna go down swinging and they're gonna put everything into Spearhead. Now, they have less health. Right now they have 0 health. So they get their Ferocious trigger, which is a bunch of rending strikes, of which 1 hits. So we'll mark 1 damage on Spearhead. Then they are going to strike with precision. Their main attack, Controlled Flurry, 2 + 4. 6 ups with precision. I'm absolutely using this. Oh, okay. 2 hits. Each one does 2 damage. So 1, 2 to get the kill, and then 1, 2. Ooh, just not quite lethal. Just not there. All right. Arclight. Arclight will spawn by sprinting, which is 20 inches. And oh yeah. Let me mark player 2 goals. They are economic growth and advance front. Okay. I guess we'll have to work on making that fit nicely. There we go. Okay. So, in terms of advancing my front, this unit did move closer, this unit did move closer, so as long as they spawn and get closer, like this, they are closer, that satisfies my advanced front, and that is a victory point immediately here. And I did all of that to write down advanced front just to immediately get rid of it. But hey, you know, that's how it works. All right, next up is Ruby. Ruby is going to spend the final provincial response token to spawn by running. which turns a 10 into a 14, which is great, which lets me get back on this objective. And I don't have any good shots. Well, actually, I am going to use my 14 inches to get an amazing shot right there. And that is going to, oh no, I'm spawning. I can't shoot. In that case, yeah, I'll just do this and shield, right. I am respawning. I cannot shoot. All right, we're getting near the end here. Helio is going to try to finish off Anna's finest, which is going to be 2 precision strikes, 3 up. Both hit. Each one deals 1 damage, 2 damage minus 1 armor twice, which, given the fact that they already had taken 1 damage, is enough to mark for death. Violet doesn't have a shot. It's too bad. It would be nice to finish them off. Well, let's see. Violet is going to take a precision shot on the tank. 2 up. Hits, 6, no penalty because I'm right up against it. So that is 1 damage. 4 minus 3 is 1 damage. So 5 damage. Mouse. Let's see. That is worth 2 points if I get the kill. And, oh, you're in range. So, okay, I am going to spend okay, I am going to run. Oh, 12 inches is not great. I was really hoping to maybe get on this objective. Nope, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to back up so that your IOQ broadside system isn't in range, so that you don't get precision. You have to run and shoot me. Great. Then I am going to spend an energy, but not my last energy. I'm going to spend this energy in order to get precision. And so this becomes a 3 up, and that's the hit. We're going to say purples are 5, so 5 and 3, that is 8 damage marked. And then Honor Guard. Honor Guard is going to try to get the kill there. That seems to be the best play. But Honor Guard isn't in range, so Honor Guard has to run. And then beep, 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 beep. We'll get in and then try to do the same thing. Now, that's 5 damage. I need both of these to hit. No, I just need, no, that's 3 damage marked. I need 5 damage, which means I need both of these to hit. 2 4-ups, no precision. Three damage. So we go from 3 to 6, so a purple and an orange. Oh, I don't even think green used their target lock. Okay, let's resolve damage. Dead, adjustment move. 1 point for green. 2 points for green. So it is now how did we score 3 points? Wasn't it 0 to 4? I think that was 1 point. So that's another. So now we're there. Because it was down 0-4. That's why you got 2, right? And so then when you scored that one, you're 1, and then 1, 2. You do have 2 energy, So you do get your last secondary goal. So it's going to come down to any kills. Let's see, in terms of kills, no one on red, no one on green died. Now let's look at the objective situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1, 2. And then that is going to be an additional 2 points for player 1, going up to 6. And then we'll look at residual damage. How much residual damage? Oh no, this unit is marked for death. That's another kill, which is a further 2 here, 6. So now it's tied, and so residual damage could be a tiebreaker. So let's look at how much residual damage there is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at plus 10, so that's a point for green, right? Because it's at least, so red gets a point because they have 10 or more points of residual damage. 4, 5, plus 6, that's 11. So, and then more here, so we know that's 10. Now, how many residual points of damage are there? Full health, full health, full health, right? Because they got all the kills, which means they didn't. So all of that damage that red was doing that wasn't quite lethal on that last turn, right? This unit surviving by a thread, Helio living, right? All of that resulted in that final point, and when the game is close, that's the difference. And the way I see it, yeah, because there's no residual damage here. None, 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 right? Everyone else is dead, so they got the kills, which got them the 3 points. Or 4 points. Green, right, got those kills, got the 4 victory points. Red wasn't able to get the kills, which is why they weren't getting victory points, but there was enough cumulative that final thing, gain, if the total inflicted damage across surviving enemy units is 10 or higher, you gain a point. That ended up being the tiebreaker, and so the Drasso Star Cloud Spearhead Force is able to win 17 to 16. That was pretty epic. That was a really fun game. It came down pretty much to a few rolls right at the end there. Had Mouse, had Honor Guard hit both, then it would have been totally different. Had Honor Guard hit none, had Mouse not hit, it was cool. Like, the game actually came down to the final tank battle. And I'm really happy with where the game's at right now. I know there's a lot I want to improve, a lot I want to add, but the stream is getting better each week. I've got new layouts, I've got a HUD, I've got face cams on both sides. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. Anyone who watched this far in the VOD, thank you so much. Please subscribe if you want to see more. We're going to be doing battle reports and weekly streams, and BlueEchoGames.com has everything you need to download this game, and I cannot wait to see you in our Discord. The links should be on the YouTube channel. Also, thank you to the artist who provided this attribution free, like, Creative Commons music for the stream. Another thing that I thought would add a little bit of nice ambiance. And thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the resource Gambit. It was a nail biter, and it ended up going to the Drasso team. Have a wonderful weekend, and have a great Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Bye.